world where passion meets recognition and dreams grapple with the reality of fame, one journey illuminates the myriad paths to greatness. Welcome to Kiss of Fame, a podcast where the stories of ambition, perseverance, and personal triumph are told by those who dare to reach for the stars. Greetings, dreamers, doers, and innovators. I'm Roberta Pacino, here to navigate the vast seas of creativity, recognition, and the complex dance with fame. Whether you're an artist, entrepreneur, scientist, or advocate, Kiss of Fame is your haven for genuine stories of grit, inspiration, and sometimes, the hard truths of seeking the spotlight. Through intimate conversations with those who've carved their niches, from hidden gems to luminaries in their fields, we uncover the essence of what it takes to rise above the noise. We delve into the magic that drives their passion, the relentless pursuit of success, and the courage required to stay true to one's vision in the face of fame. But this isn't just about the glitz and glamour, it's about the journey. The triumphs, the setbacks, and the moments that define us. From the first spark of ambition to the accolades that follow, every step has its story, and we're here to share those stories with the world. Kiss of Fame isn't merely a podcast, it's a dialogue. A dialogue about the art of achievement, the impact of recognition, and our endless quest for significance in our work and in our lives. So, if you're in search of motivation, guidance, or companionship on your path to recognition, join us. Explore the lives and minds of those who've made their mark and uncover what it truly takes to earn that kiss of fame. It's not just about making art, it's about sparking conversations. Welcome to Kiss of Fame. Subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, and let's embark on this remarkable journey together.
Welcome back, everybody. I am so excited about my guest today, and it's time to introduce them. We have Eric Spade Rivas. Am I pronouncing your name right, Eric?
Yes. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. And so, Eric is a filmmaker and an actor. He directs and edits and does everything to make a movie. And it was so awesome. And then I also have Michael Musto. Did I pronounce your name right, Michael?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. So Michael is a journalist and an actor. And Michael and Eric have worked together quite a bit. And so they're coming on today to talk all about, what they've done and what they're doing and where they're going. So we're really, really happy to have you. So Mike, let me start off with Eric. Eric, so you were a graffiti artist and then you became, a filmmaker. But how did being a graffiti artist lead to you being a filmmaker? How does it inspire you now?
There's a lot of risks with doing graffiti. I mean, sometimes you would want to do a rooftop so that, let's say, when the trains pass by, everybody at school on Monday could say, wow, I saw your name, So it becomes a big deal. It actually becomes a way of fame. A lot of graffiti writers want to be famous, and they call it going for fame. So, I think in respects to filmmaking, a lot of it, that is still the same. Because we really pulled the bar, like in taking risks, and there's that high, that adrenaline that used to come from graffiti, that is still somewhat present in what I'm doing right now. In my older age, above 50, and doing this. And even Michael knows we were at a movie theater shooting on Sunday, and we were taking risks, shooting in every part of the movie theater without permission. So, that's where that comes from. Yeah.
I had no idea. That about that drive to be a graffiti artist, to be famous. That is really cool.
It's a very huge thing.
I'm so interested in fame, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know that. So,
that's the main goal with graffiti artists. A lot of them.
Oh, that is so interesting. And I love graffiti art. So, I mean, that's why, right?
That's right.
It's the energy, energy behind
You're an artist.
Yeah.
So you understand
that's awesome. And do you do actually the camera work also? Are you behind the camera?
a lot of times I would prefer someone else to do it. Sometimes I have a camera person. I used to have Martina Meal come out, Antonio Serrata. And sometimes, like once in a while, Michael Musto might be holding the camera because Michael's tall. You know, there's certain reasons that we'll have to get a shot and someone's not there. And then other times I have to shoot it. And, you know, I mean, for me, it's all about placing the cameraman in the angle that I want. So, you know, I'll explain it to the person holding the camera. And to me, it's as simple as that. It's not.
Right. Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know about that. I wondered.
Yeah. A cameraman would never agree with that.
So, Michael, you have been like from a staple in New York nightlife and entertainment for like many, many years. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you talk about what you do, what you've done, and how things have changed for you? How this whole scene has changed. Yeah.
Starting in the 1970s, I was covering the New York nightlife, which was extremely exciting back then. It was the era of Studio 54 and the other glitzy, celebrity-filled discos. Even as the city was crumbling and the entire country was going down the drain, still there was that exciting nightlife, and I became drawn to it. And in 1984, I got a column at the Village Voice called La Dolce Musto, where they asked me to do a weekly roundup of the nightlife, the celebrity gossip, and so on. That lasted for literally 29 years. But guess what? I'm still at the Village Voice because they're back as a website, villagevoice.com. And I do reviews and think pieces for them, as well as writing for other publications. I've also been on TV a whole lot, starting in the 90s. In the 80s, actually, I was on MTV. In the 90s, I was on E! I am now on every documentary known to man. I mean, if there's a documentary about, if there's a documentary about potato salad, I'm in it for some reason.
That's fantastic.
Basically, it's because I say amazing. Yes to everything. But
good. That's so good to know.
But
that's why you're here today.
No, I'm very happy to be here. But I mean, Eric had contacted me because I think he probably knew that I have a showbiz bug inside of my DNA, that I am a big ham. I'm not just the kind of writer who wants to sit behind the computer. And he reached out to me through a mutual friend and said, how would you like to be in an independent movie? And I looked up his work and I liked it because it was crazy and it was keeping the independent spirit alive. The independent movies really seemed to reach a climax in the 90s with Quentin Tarantino and all that. And then it became kind of safe because the mainstream subsumed the underground and the indies became the mainstream. But I felt that what I could see from Eric Rivas's work, he was keeping that old school independent spirit alive.
So that's wonderful that you were able to connect like that and have that kind of connection. Eric, what is it that you see in Michael to put him in your films? I mean, what's special about him?
Well, you know, we had a mutual friend named Rachel, and I know Michael's from Brooklyn, you know, and we would talk a lot of times, me and Rachel, and she would say, oh, Michael might come down. And I said, let me look at Michael a little. Then I saw this video of him on a train going to Coney Island with his friends. It was really cool. I think it was shot by Nelson Sullivan. I don't know if I'm wrong, Michael. But he was on the train going to Coney Island. Then I saw another video where it was like he was like doing Shakespeare. It looked like he was down by the World Trade Center, and he's like running behind, like. And I said, this guy wants to act. I said, I think this guy wants to act. So the first time I put him in the movie, I gave him a couple of lines, thinking I don't want to annoy him because he looks really quiet. He comes in, and he came in and he knocked the lines out. And then before you know it, I would give him a full page of lines, and he would learn that full page like in 30 seconds. Like anybody that was there would be embarrassed because they would say, this guy just walked in, grabbed this paper, and knows the whole dialogue. So he has that ability to digest. Also, he has great ad-lib ability. Sometimes you could say, Michael, you know, I don't really know, you know, you're funny here. Could you think of something? And he'll come up with things, and we're crying laughing.
So what's the time frame on this? Like, when did this happen? When did you first meet Michael?
I think like 2015 with the Vampikers trilogy, and he came on to work along with Angel Salazar, who passed away, rest in peace. And yeah, it's been all that time. It's been about 5 films, I believe, now that Michael's been working with us, and we always find something for Michael, somehow, to be a mayor, to be a mobster. We just find different things, and he always, he fits the bill. He makes it happen, and he motivates us. The good thing about him is he's never like he comes down with that energy. He wants to do it. He always got appointments. He got to run. He got his bike. He got things to do. He's a busy man. But when he comes, he gives everything he could for the particular scene that we're shooting, which is great. You can't say that for everybody.
Yeah. No, those are the kind of people you want. In your life. Thank you, Michael, for being one of those guys. So would you say, Michael, that Eric kind of discovered you as an actor? Were you acting before he noticed, or?
Well, I've always been attracted to performing, and in school I was always in all the school plays, and in high school I won Best Actor for the high school sing. I played an Arabian merchant. Of course, nowadays you couldn't do that. That's cultural appropriation. But in any case, I think Eric, like I said, he noticed that I have a hammy element. I come across shy and awkward, but deep down I am dying for the spotlight. So he really brought that out in me. And what makes me comfortable on his movie sets is he allows for anything. If you have an idea, how about if we do it this way? How about if we add this line or this paragraph? He is willing to give it a try. And that's what I mean about the independent spirit. They don't do that anymore in movies. If an actor comes into a movie now and has their own idea of what the script should be, they're going to get fired on the spot. But Eric welcomes that collaborative spirit. Anything goes. Let's give it a try. And his work reflects that, I think, in a very good way.
Yeah, I haven't never really done much, acting because I was kind of afraid of it. Now I look back and I thought, oh, shoot, I should have stayed in acting class. But I think if I had people like Eric around, it would have been different. But I was so intimidated.
There's still time, because I'll be honest with you. I have the same approach to acting as I do like with drawing. If somebody says they can't draw, I don't believe that. I just believe they don't want to, or they won't try it. But I almost feel like anybody can act. It's a matter of somewhat being yourself on camera. You got to almost forget the camera's there. So, I tend to never discourage anybody in general. Michael happens to be good, and we're lucky. And there's a lot of actors that I have that happen to be good. But if anybody came and wanted to do it, I would always say, let's try it. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah. So, okay. So independent filmmaking is really tough. I always feel like when I see an independent film, I'm seeing a miracle because raising the money and all that, everything. So, because I work kind of in that end, in the producing end, trying to raise money for films and stuff. Oh my goodness. That was tough. So, what keeps you going with it? What motivates you to keep doing it?
I mean, the things that I could do for free outweigh the things that I have to do for money. So like edit is the biggest, headache of all in the end of it. And I just happen to love editing. To me, that's where I get to, I would say, show how my mind works. Like almost like, it's like showing your thoughts to someone at the end of the day. Like you're like, oh, this is what I saw. And I got to a point where I believe I could do that. And if I believe I could do that, that's free. Then you got your friends that come and, they'll come out and shoot with you, which you're lucky if they show up, if they want to, if they feel like it. And then you got, locations that for me are free until someone says you can't shoot here. Then I got to leave, because we're probably not going to pay for it. So we've shot everywhere. And we have things here or there that we got to pay for, pizza, different things. I mean, I definitely give Michael something when he comes down, and we just try our best to limit the amount of spending. And, this way, no matter what happens, you don't feel bad about it, because at the end, a movie to me is just, it'll become a memory. I forget the cameras, I forget everything. And I just remember, I look at the story and I'm like, well, that's what happened, the story, Right. But, I mean, I would say that not everybody has my position on this, but I happen to like it and it's comfortable. And a lot of people like to raise a lot of money and then go out and they don't know how to shoot a film, or they don't have the courage to shoot a film, or they don't have a good story, So there's a lot of that too, which I don't want to knock people, but I know a lot of people that, get these budgets and get, I'm not talking about Hollywood budgets, but budgets enough to, get some, some talent in there and all that, and still bomb, Angel would make fun of me because I couldn't really pay him, but he liked me because,
can we talk about him a little? I don't want to be standing here with you. Can you talk about the film with him? And
I would love to. I mean, first off, like him and Michael, they have that thing in common where they love movies. So if you say to Michael or you say to Angel, hey, this is like The Godfather and the rowboat, and I don't have them going, what? Wait, what scene? What are you talking about? Like, these guys know it. It's almost like they're computers of movies. So Angel, I said to Angel one time, I said, you remind me of Peter Lorre. And he turns around and looks at me. He goes, Eric, he's my favorite actor. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't. I thought that I said something like I was mocking him, or I said something wrong. I was like, wow, I talked too fast. And the guy looks at me and goes, that's my favorite actor.
Oh, wow.
And sounded just like him.
Can you tell the audience who Angel is? Because we all, I think almost everybody in this room knew him.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Angel played part of the tightest trio in Scarface with Al Pacino and Stephen Bauer. He played Chi-Chi, the little guy with the hat. And he is, in the movie, I mean, I don't know, to me, it's almost like a still life, the three of those guys. They look great together automatically without doing anything. And then they just happen to act really well together. And he's made such a name over the years for himself because of that movie, because it's a cult classic everywhere he goes. I mean, I was in San Antonio with him at a film festival, and we walked in, and within 5 minutes, they were buying us all drinks. We were all, it's like he was like a VIP. And people love this. They love Scarface, and they love your brother. They love Pacino. They love it. And Angel really reaped a lot of that throughout his life.
Yes, I met him. I met him when my friend Jennifer, who's here today, thank you, Jennifer. We went to see Al in one of his one night only shows that he does, where he gets interviewed on stage, and it was in Las Vegas. This was maybe 10 years ago. I don't know. And he sat by me in the audience, and so we introduced ourselves, and I said, don't tell Al that you're sitting by me, because I wanted to keep it a secret from Al at the time. And so he went down. He went down to to kind of have a reunion kind of with Al. He went down with his bag of cocaine, and I think we have a film of this that Mexico filmed it. And he goes down there, and the first thing he tells Al is, "I'm sitting next to your sister." and so Al, of course, he was great.
If you told him not, please don't say that. If you said please don't say that, it's the first thing he would say.
I found that out. So over the last years, he would bring that up so many times, how funny it was that I had told him not to say. Anyway, he was amazing. And rest in peace, Angel. We loved you. So, okay. So now I'm gonna break and show my video about my art. I'm an artist, and I make product. I put them on products like coffee mugs. Eric, you got a coffee mug, and different things. And so I have a little video. I have these jewelry boxes that are awesome. They're so beautiful. And there's a video about that. And then after that, let's talk about you and Michael and the movies that you've made, and what you're doing now, and what's coming up. Okay, so let's play my video.
Hi, I'm Roberta Pacino, and I'm excited to share my new collection of beautiful jewelry boxes with you. These boxes feature some of my favorite original paintings, designed to bring a touch of magic and nature to your jewelry storage. Right now, I'm offering 4 unique designs. Pumpkin Patch Pals, a cozy autumn scene with playful animals. Garden Gathering, a peaceful woodland moment under cherry blossoms. Pure Presence, a serene winter landscape filled with wisdom and wonder. And Mountain Meal, inspired by the breathtaking wildlife and mountains of Colorado. Each jewelry box is crafted with a glossy finish, a soft felt interior, and showcases my artwork on a 6x6 ceramic tile. Whether you're organizing your own treasures or searching for the perfect gift, these boxes combine beauty and function. Explore the collection and find the perfect design for your jewelry. Shop now at my Etsy store by visiting robertapacino.io.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so those are my gorgeous jewelry boxes. And be sure to go to robertapacino.io and you can click onto my Etsy store from there and get one for a gift or put your Rolex in there. So okay, Michael, you are, you have experienced fame. I mean, really, you're recognizable. Your face is recognizable, which is a different kind of fame, and one that that I really, I'm scared of a little bit, because I feel. How do you handle it? I mean, what is it like for you to be famous? And is it a good thing? Do you have problems? How do you stay grounded with that?
I love it because I always craved attention. And as a writer, you don't always get attention. It wasn't until I started appearing on television that people would put my face and connect it with my byline and start coming up to me on the street and say they like my work. I thought it felt good when the people are nice, and they almost always are nice. And let's face it, it's manageable. I'm not Meryl Streep. I'm not Ariana Grande. I'm just a writer who appears on television and documentaries. It's Fran Lebowitz, I think, said it best when she said, fame as a writer is the best kind of fame because you get the best table at the restaurant, but nobody bothers you while you're eating. So
yeah,
I find it quite manageable and quite delightful most of the time.
Most of the time. Do you ever feel like, oh gosh, I've got, my hair doesn't look great, or I don't really want anybody to see me or anything like that? And do you feel like kind of like there's an expectation or you're
No. The great thing is I always marketed myself as just kind of a troll. Like a troll from Brooklyn.
Okay, I'm learning a lot from you.
And my hair never looked right, and that was not part of the expectation for who I am. And that has worked in my favor. No one's ever going to go, oh, you're disappointing me because you're not glossy enough. I create my own gloss in my own fashion.
Wonderful. I love it. It's so positive, and I love that take on it. So so Eric, you're probably part of Michael's fame. You've put him in movies and stuff. Can you talk about the movies you've done and the movies you're doing? What's going on right now?
Okay, I've pretty much been on a tear since I think 2009. Well, no. Yeah, 2009. We won the Coney Island Film Festival for Best Made in Coney Island Film, and it was about bikers, filmmaker trying to remake the Warriors, and in the process, real bikers find out and want to kill him, and he has to stand up to this group, whatever. And then as time wore on, I realized a lot of people like to act, so I just kept making movies because I'm Puerto Rican and Argentine. My last name, people, I could walk into an audition and they would say, oh, you're not Spanish. And they don't realize in Puerto Rico, there's very white people, there's very black people, there's very tan people. It's a mix there. And it was hard for me to get roles. So it became like I was going to make the movies that I couldn't be in until I could get into the movies. So that was like the plan. So it started with a vacation camera. It slowly elevated to maybe a Canon 5D. And then when the iPhone, started progressing and giving us 4K, I started finding reasons to shoot things myself, as much as I could and not bother another person because I'm not paying. But I made Vampikers, which is a trilogy about vampires in a biker town. And Michael eventually joined us on that. Angel played a priest in that one, and he was excellent. And we had many discussions about method acting for hours before we would shoot, but that's the way he was. And, continued down to the Duke of New York about Asian hate and how a sick, elite, rich guy like Michael Musto and Angel Salazar were looking to kill an Asian on film, for their own pleasure, just for fun. It's like a snuff film. Yeah, and I had to be this down and out director that was offered, a handful of money, which probably I'd never saw before, 20,000 or whatever, and like, go get your friend, go get an actor, and I get someone. And I think it's Michael that says to me, make sure he doesn't know any kung fu. And, of course, this is like a little joke, a little stereotype joke, but it turns out that the character of Brian knows martial arts. So then we would have to fight our way out of a snuff film kind of together once I realized that I'd been duped into directing a murder film. Then there was Enter Requiem, which was the last film that I did. It was about a girl who's raped, and her boyfriend is the director. So he grabs his film crew and he goes after the guy who raped her, and he decides he's going to kill the guy on film. So I had a couple of those films. And Michael also played a mobster. We called it one of the first gay mobsters in Japanese borscht. I think there was one in The Sopranos too. But Michael handled it excellently. He had a whole crew around him. It was about the Japanese mafia versus New York mafia. Always craziness, I mean, I operate like I have a $20 million budget. That's my mentality. The only thing is I don't. So then that's where all the problems come from, and that's where all the fun comes from. Because I mean, let's face it. I mean, if I was doing it and not having fun, I don't know. I don't know if that would be worth it.
But aren't those the films that make money? The ones that you make on a really low budget that look like you had a lot of money to make it? I mean, that's what.
Yeah. So far, no. But I keep believing, I do believe in it, and I keep going after it. And more I think about it is, as a director, that it's somewhat like psychoanalysis into yourself as to why are you doing this, and somehow I got to put that into a film. That's going to be the next film. It's a premiere gone wrong, which is a true story, because last year our premiere froze. It froze midway through. And, there was an intermission where a lot of craziness happened, and Michael had to leave. He had an appointment, and I'm making a film about that. Anyway, I've been running on, but yeah, this last film will deal with the heartache of making film and why do we do it, and in the process maybe I'll find out also.
Right. Well, that's part of it. We're discovering ourselves. Yeah.
Yes.
So Michael, we're hearing about the films that Eric's making, and what do you do? Like, what do you write? I'm not really familiar with your work, that familiar, so can you talk about it, like what you write about and how that's changed, and how meaningful is that to you in your life?
Oh, well, I really write about my life. My columns have always been pretty much a weekly diary of what I did, who I encountered, and how they reacted to me. So I've always done very subjective first-person journalism, covering the New York scene, whether it be the nightclubs, Fashion Week, Broadway opening nights, movie premieres, and the underground talent, because I've always promoted up-and-coming entertainers as if they were as important as currently famous ones. I'm one of the first people to ever write about people like Justin Vivian Bond, Bridget Everett, Murray Hill, Jackie Hoffman, RuPaul, a lot of the people that are now staples on television and streaming services. And I love being the discoverer of talent. And as for the parts I've gotten to play for Eric, if I could switch to that, the first one I did was Vamp Biker's Tress, part of a trilogy. It's pretty much his Lord of the Rings cycle. And I played, all Eric told me was, you're playing a doctor named Hedda Hopper. I didn't know what to make of that, but I just went with my idol, which is Tim Curry in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. And I used that as my sort of spirit animal and developed this Hedda Hopper character that was kind of multi-gender and kind of totally off the wall. And I love playing the gay mafioso, as Eric mentioned, in Japanese borscht. Plus, he instructed me to have a heart. He wanted me to play a mafiosa who actually had human feelings for his son who had died. So it was interesting to play that. And I think my favorite was playing the mayor of New York in Duke of New York by Eric Rivas. And Eric said, well, we need you to deal with the rat infestation. So I gave a press conference. In the movie, I give a press conference as the mayor, and I say we have to welcome the rats because, after all, a liberal society is based on welcoming immigration, and rats are looking for asylum. They're looking for a better life. I basically played a total crap. Okay.
He was on a roll.
That
day. He was on a roll. Oh my God.
It sounds like you just have so much fun.
We do have fun. And the one that we did the other day that Eric mentioned was in a movie theater in Brooklyn. We went kamikaze and just kind of went in there with the camera. And we didn't disrupt anyone else's movie going experience. I'll tell you that. We're not that kind of rebel. But there was one part where there was one moment where we ended up in a theater because it's a Cineplex, and we were watching some horrible movie with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. It's a new movie that just came out. And I thought, God, I'm glad I didn't get invited to a screening of this, or I would have had to watch the whole thing. So we got right out of there. We filmed in the coffee bar.
So you sent a clip. Okay, so I don't know much about the clip you sent, but I was wondering, we're going to play it soon, and I was wondering if you want to kind of tell us what it is, what movie it is, and all that.
Okay, I believe this is Vampire's Dress. I believe it's when Michael Musto captures my character and realizes that I'm going to break out of the hospital and try to find my daughter. And he basically wants to, bring me back to Earth and say, nope, you're never going to see her, and you're going to live here, and this is where you belong. And, it's all in your mind. And, he really is a bad guy in the movie, and he does an excellent job. You'll see here.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I watched it, but, all right. So I didn't know what was going on. So let's play the clip.
Beat down gloves. Bleed poetry. Your child will never see you because you are not well. State won't let you out. We are the only ones who give angels wings around here.
Yes, fuckface vampire, you can't fly.
Mr. Lugosi, no wings for you. But 120 pages. 120. Can you count, suckers? I say the future is ours if we count. But on the really real, you will never see daylight, Mr. Vampiro.
Make him bleed.
Your blind wife might be in an accident, and your kid will be in a nice foster home. If you dare to dream in here. So stop hyping everybody up. The vegetables enjoy the bin in which they are displayed. Why go against me? God follows me on Twitter. You should too. Oh wait, you don't have a computer.
What about me? Where's my love? Did you kidnap her? Don't ignore me.
Oh, he's going to be a handsome mummy, don't you think?
Boris fucking Karloff version.
Actually, the best mummy. In here, I'm the director of all your little cast, because there's nothing worse than taking a soul. All the world's a stage, and I'm the stage master. Why do you go against me? Don't you go against me! What is this vampire's tress? Lock him up and sharpen his teeth.
to take questions from the audience. You guys ready for that?
Yes.
Eric and Michael?
Definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
All right. So does anybody have any questions?
You have to love creating. Other than that, you would just sit back and coast on your previous accomplishments, and there'd be no reason to even wake up in the morning. I find it very stimulating to approach the next article, the next movie, the next TV appearance. It's new, it's brand new. You're reaching new people, and I don't want to coast on the past. I've kept all my old videos and everything and old press clippings, but I never look at them. So I feel that I avoid being some demented old Norma Desmond or something. I'm much more interested in the present and creating in the present moment. And that's why I enjoy collaborating with Eric Rivas.
Thank you.
I kind of see it. I often refer to it as a defect because, like, when I was younger, I think, my mother, she just, I didn't grow up with my father. So my mother had me, and I had to, like, spend a lot of times, a lot of hours, in the babysitter or whatever. And you develop your daydreaming. You want to get out of there, and drawing and things like that. So I think it's kind of like an escapism, which I become very comfortable in that creative state. Like it's more comfortable than being normal. And in actuality, like, it does not seem like a risk at all. It just seems like I got to keep doing it. And like Michael said, you can't just sit back and look at what you did yesterday. You always want to do something today where you could look back and say, wow, yesterday I did something, but now I'm doing something new. So it's not even a question. As long as I have actors that want to act, and I have a medium in which to show what I got. If I don't reach Hollywood or anything like that, I probably will still be doing this and enjoying it. And the independent filmmaker now can, show a movie in a movie theater. He can create it his own self. He can put it on Amazon. I mean, if you hustle, you could get it out that people could see it. So it really is all about, creativity. I'm sorry. Creativity is such a thing that I think it never dies. It's just something that you always have, and that if you're hungry, you'll get it out. You'll make sure people see it.
You're also competing nowadays with basically the entire population of the world, because everyone is a potential influencer who has the venues like social networks where they could show the results of their creativity. And I think that's wonderful. But it's more difficult for us old school people who used to only compete with a very finite number of other critics, other filmmakers. We're now competing with anyone who has access to a computer or a phone. And it makes you really play your A game all the time. It makes you really work harder to stay relevant. So I think that's good.
Yeah, you're in the same pond. Yeah, you're in the same pond of creativity. It's a huge pond. And, in that pond, there's Brad Pitt, there's Spielberg, and somewhere there's us, in this whole, and what we need to do is we're trying to become the big fish. And, I believe if the powers that be, God and all that want, our stuff to be seen, it will be seen, it will find a way to the top. Thank you.
Thank you.
I would say so. I totally agree.
Okay, wonderful. So do we have any more questions?
Yes, Roberta, this is Mac.
Hi.
What's up, Mexicali? What's up? This is one of Angel's friends that I met.
Yeah.
Good morning to you
How you
all.
doing?
You know, I'm enjoying listening in, and Mr. Rivas, I definitely appreciate your work with Angel, and just in general for you making it happen. Um, you mentioned, before shooting, Angel would actually speak a lot about method acting, which I definitely remember, which was a blessing to me. Because there's so much to learn from Angel and his expertise being around the business, being around the best, working with Al, and it was just it was incredible to be in his presence, to be able to learn from whenever he would actually be speaking about acting in general. My question to you would be, what are some of the methods that Angel shared with you, as well as in front of the class, of the actors that was aboard? Something that you look back on that you're gonna take with you forever.
He definitely always wanted a script. And then once I would give him the script, as you probably know, he would, Eric, this doesn't sound right. Maybe I should say this. What you think? And we would start laughing. But one of the funniest stories on that was one time I told him, I wrote this thing for him and he couldn't understand what it was. He goes, Eric, what do you mean a dead guy extra? What is this? We went over it, right? And I said to him, well, one time I was in a film with a girl, and in the movie she's dead, so I'm carrying her, and while I'm carrying her, she keeps complaining about the way I'm carrying her. And I said to her, you're dead, so you can't really say how I would carry you. And he started laughing. So when he did the scene, he told somebody, you're going to be a dead guy extra. And the guy goes, what's my line? And he goes, you don't have any lines, you're dead. So Angel would sit there with us and he would ask so many questions about the scene before we would do it. He would ask about the dialogue, if he could change it. And then once he did that, then he was fluid and he would have fun. But he never just said, let's wing it. He's a lot like Michael. They're kind of perfectionists, like they play around, but they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? They're not just winging it. They actually got, cool spontaneity. They also got a plan. They got a lot of things going on. But Angel,
He would
always,
was that? He would actually drive me crazy because I'd be sitting there going, I really would like to be home by midnight.
Yes.
And he'd be going, how about if I enter backwards? How about if I come in through the window? Come in through the window. How about if I leave out this line? How about if I have that? And Eric was so patient and just let him do whatever he wanted. And I realized that was the right way to go because it really was a genius approach. He was not going to take anything at face value. Angel, his full name was Angel Salazar, by the way. And that was his approach. That's why people like your brother, Roberta, really respected him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sure they loved him for that, because Angel, it was one of the funniest people I knew. I mean, I don't know how or why, but we wound up spending up so much time together. And even down in Texas, we had to stay for this movie festival. I mean, there were so many things I learned about him, but what I learned the most was that he was very human on a level that is going extinct. It's a person that he would fuck with you. I mean, he would make jokes on you and say the things you don't want to say. You don't want him to say. If you would say my girlfriend is Miranda, he would say, "Hey Miriam, Eric told me you like that name." He would always push buttons. But one time I went to a deli with him, and I said, "Angel, can we do that scene where Tony steps over your body and you're like, Tony, open the door, Tony?" He goes, "Sure." So we did it in a deli, and I'll send it to you guys later. But Mexicali, just to answer, honestly, like there were so many different things that he did. He basically brought Hollywood to us condensed, in a tube, and he showed us, what it was like, and he made it fun, and we were lucky to get him. I think he was an angel for real.
You know what? Go ahead, Mr. Pacino. Sorry about that.
Just saying thank you. Go ahead, Mexicali.
Thank you, Roberta. It's crazy that you say that, Eric, because that's what I told a mutual friend when he passed. That somebody had said, his line that he was known for was Chichi get the yayo. You know what I mean? And now it's Chichi got the halo. Chichi got the
Yeah.
halo. You know what I mean? And it's you know when I was right, and when I was telling this friend, you know, I really do feel like nobody in this world is perfect, no matter what we do, from the priests to the presidents of the world and all that. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. But one thing for sure is that we had an angel walking with us, you know, with
Yeah.
Angel, and you know, and I truly believe that. And when our mutual friend Laura had actually said that as well, that she felt like he's just an angel now over our shoulder. I it's incredible, because I remember when my grandmother passed away. She passed away July 13th, 2022. Angel was such a beautiful person in such a way that he actually called me to offer his condolences. And not only
Wow.
to offer his condolences, but he told me, he says, hey, he says, listen, tell me when her funeral is going to be, and I'll go out there, I'll fly out there to LA, and I'll be with you. And I
Yeah.
just, you know, I found that as something that I'm always going to have love and respect for him for, because he was there with me. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I forgot until just recently, when I was talking to that friend, that we actually have footage from that day when he was there at the cemetery with me. And
Wow.
he actually, from the angle of you know, the way that the sun was setting that day, he at one point he stands in front of that sun, and because the angle of the camera, whatever it was that he's like sparkling in this really, really bright, beautiful light.
Right.
And
Right.
he's,
Thank you,
you know,
Mexicali.
yeah, you know, he, you know, oh, go ahead.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, no, I just rest in peace, Angel Salazar, and yeah, he was. I mean, I only met him one time, and he totally affected my life in a
Yes.
strange way. So
I believe
yeah,
that. I believe
so
that.
We're all gonna
um,
miss him for sure.
we'll
Yes.
definitely miss him. Yeah. So, are there any other questions? I have one, Mexicali. Do you still have that footage of when
Yeah, I want to see
from Las
that. I want to
Vegas?
see that.
You sent it to
Yeah.
me once, and I don't know where it is. Do you still have
Oh,
it?
You know what I do? You know what I do, Miss Roberta? You know, I'm actually gonna be showing some tributes that I've actually been putting together for Angel. You know, some of his the clips of his previous work and all of his films, as well as a lot of
Right.
interview clips that he's done. So, you know, just to let you know.
love to see
Okay.
that.
Well, if you could, I would love to have it if you want to share it with me.
That would be
Of course,
awesome.
of course. I'll actually send you the original footage as well. And you know, if I may, I do have one more question for Eric.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sure.
Eric, I just wanted to ask, what is your most memorable time with Angel in the cast, as far as out of the films that you've previously already been representing? It looks like you guys did a lot of work, but you guys always had fun doing the work. It comes out through that.
What is the most fun with him? You know, I mean, almost every shoot was, you know, you would come out of it with the most fun. Um, there was a time when we were in San Antonio, Texas, and you know, he met this girl, and she had a brother there with him, and I don't know if it was a brother or a cousin. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it was a cousin, and you know, they wanted to go out to a club with us. So when we drove into San Antonio, which I don't know very well, my friend lives there. His father was an army brat, and we got into a bar. And before you know it, the whole bar is going crazy. So you could see that this cousin is getting very jealous, and you know, over Angel with the girl. And I don't know why. You know, I don't really understand why. And before you know it, you know, on the way back, you know, we're driving back, and the cousin looks very mad driving. So later on, the cousin tells me, you know, you're lucky you were there, Eric. I was ready to crash the car because Angel and the girl sitting in the back. So, you know, we get back to the hotel, and I said to Angel, what, you know, I said, what was happening? He goes, I don't know, Eric. He goes, but he's going to have to keep his eye open all night because that girl's going to come look for me. So, we basically dealt with a weekend of him going to war with somebody over a girl, and he was just hilarious. I mean, I can never give that story justice, but it was something along the lines like, how Angel was. And when girls were around him, they were crazy about him. And it wasn't like, he's going to, go sleep with 100 girls. It wasn't like that. They just would laugh and laugh and laugh with him. And on that particular trip, one of those things happened where, he just, it was a little bit like getting into trouble for a girl. And me and him laughed the whole weekend about it.
Wow, that's beautiful memories. Thank you, Roberta, for allowing me to answer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So, are there any more questions?
Hi,
Jennifer. Okay, go ahead.
yeah. I just wanted to say how nice it is to be here and how nice it is to meet Eric and Michael and Mexicali. Hi. And
Nice to meet you.
Angel was amazing. Roberta and I met him that one time and we just had so much fun. He was so magnetic. When I learned about his death, I was on the top of Kilauea in Hawaii, and I said a prayer for him up there on top of that volcano. And like you said, he was always looking to poke fun at you or somehow get you in a little bit of hot water, and it was just hilarious. And hearing these stories, I'm like, yes, that was Angel. And at the same time, he was the kindest spirit.
Yes, 100%. 100%. There's a saying somewhere. There's a saying somewhere where, I don't know if it's Buddhism, like where someone that makes fun of you is actually trying to evolve your spirit. I don't know where that comes through, and I can't put it into words right now. But if any of you know, but that's what I felt he constantly did, and I guess that's a higher evolution of spirituality or something that he had that he knew. He was the Joker. He was the Joker.
No wonder.
I'll try to find that. And send it to you eventually.
I would love to see that. So, okay. So we're kind of coming to the end of the podcast. And I was wondering if Michael or Eric, if either of you have anything else you want to add, anything you want to say to everybody. We have a huge audience. It's not just everybody here.
Yeah, I'll leave it to Michael.
I mean, I'm learning, first of all, that I'm ready for sainthood because I make fun of people all the time. So obviously the Buddhists think I'm some kind of Mother Teresa type. Anyway, you can always contact me on Facebook, where I'm just simply Michael Musto. I'm also on X, which used to be Twitter, and on that I am Mikey Musto, Mikey Musto. I'm on Instagram, but I don't really use it very much. I also am a singer. I've sung ever since I was a kid, and I have a new song out called Iconic, and it was out for Gay Pride. We filmed it out and around the legendary Stonewall Inn in the West Village. You want to check that out somewhere, please give it a listen.
Yeah, we shot a video for Michael. It came out very cool. Very cool.
Okay. We'll look for that for sure.
Eric, how about yourself?
But I'd just like to say it was an honor to be on the show, for you to be interested enough to talk to us on what we do. And it's really an honor. I'm a big fan of your brother, as you know. And, one day I would like you to go tell him about my crazy films and tell him to join me and Michael on the chaos.
Okay. Right. Well, I love having you here. I love having you here, Michael. It's been really interesting and exciting, and I think you guys are really brave to come into the metaverse for the first time and do this. I mean, how awesome is that? And I hope that, that maybe you'll add this this to your repertoire of locations. I don't know, but it would be fun to see you here again. So thank you so much for being here. Yeah, thank you. And I also especially want to thank my host, my producer, David and Tara from the Hello LLC. They created this whole metaverse for me. They do amazing work. They are they're a digital marketing agency, actually. They have actually something coming up soon. If you're interested, they're doing it's like a master class. It's extremely inexpensive, and they teach you all about AI, how to do AI videos for your, advertising, how to put your products out there for the holidays, and so much more. And one thing that I'm going to say about them is you get way more than you pay for. I mean, and so it's awesome. It's awesome to work with people like that. So thank you so much, David and Tara. And they can be found at the hellollc.io. So yeah, I guess that wraps it. Thank you everybody for
Roberta,
being here. Yes.
Roberta, can you see me at all? No, right?
Who's talking to me, Eric?
No, this is Eric. You cannot see me at all,
I can
right?
see you. I can see your avatar, but I'm seeing you from the back.
Okay. I just want to let you know that I'm holding your cup right here and having iced tea.
Well, I wish I could see you with the cup, but thank you so much. And Eric made a little video of him when he got the cup, and it was so cute. I loved it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Thank
you.
We
appreciate everything. We appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Okay. All right.
All right, guys. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.